Assalamualaikum and thanks for joining me this Sunday. I'm Ras Adibarazi and these are tonight's headlines. Singapore stands no chance to win water deal dispute at World Court. Government to introduce Malaysia's own esports league soon. And Afghan flash floods leave at least 20 dead. Hello, it's good to see you again. We begin tonight's bulletin with this story. Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad today said Singapore will lose its case over the raw water deal dispute with Malaysia if it is brought to the International Court of Arbitration. The Prime Minister added as such the Republic has been reluctant to do so, realising that it stands little or no chance to succeed.
Tun Dr. Mahathir, however, said both countries have agreed to continue negotiations on the water issue.
They don't want to go to the World Court because if they go to the World Court, they will lose. So they don't want to go to the World Court because to go to the World Court, you must have agreement from both parties.
Last week, the Premier urged the Johor government to be more vocal about the issues they are facing, specifically in relation to the ridiculously cheap price Singapore is paying for the raw water. The water agreement, which expires in 2061, entitles Singapore to draw up to 250 million gallons a day of raw water from the Johor River. In return, Johor is entitled to a daily supply of treated water of up to 2% of the water supplied to Singapore. Singapore pays 3 cents per 1,000 gallons of raw water and sells treated water back to Johor at 50 cents per 1,000 gallons.
Meanwhile, the government has paid 200 million ringgit in interest to the main contractor of East Coast Railing ECRL. The Premier said the interest payment was for the 55 billion ringgit loan to China Communications Construction Company CCCC.
Duit yang kita ada yang sepatutnya kita guna untuk rakyat terpaksa diguna untuk bayar hutang. Baru ini kita bayar cuma faedah saja. 200 million ringgit. Tiap-tiap 6 bulan nak kena bayar 200 million ringgit kerana Datuk Seri Najib hutang sehingga 55 bilion ringgit. Daripada 55 bilion ringgit, dia turun 20 bilion ringgit. Tinggal 35 bilion ringgit saja. Bermakna bahawa dia boleh buat dengan harga 35 bilion. Tapi kenapa kontrak ni sampai 55 bilion? Mungkin kerana nak curi duit lah tu.
Work on the 688-kilometre railway line linking the east and west coast of Peninsular Malaysia was suspended last July as part of the new Pakatan Harapan administration's review of mega projects undertaken by the previous government. Tun Dr. Mahathir previously said the project could only resume on a smaller scale if China agrees to the move. Both countries are still in talks and have yet to find an amicable solution on the matter. Pakatan Harapan PH will conduct a post-mortem to identify the factors that led to the coalition's defeat in the just concluded Semenyih by-election. Tun Dr. Mahathir, who is also PH chairman, said UMNO's partnership with PAS may have contributed to Barisan Nasional BN's victory in the polls. The Premier, however, said the Pakatan was not worried with the cooperation between UMNO and PAS, as he was confident the cooperation would only happen during by-elections, where the victory would not bring much meaning.
Ya, mereka boleh kerjasama dalam pilihan raya kecil. Kerana menang kalah tak penting. Tapi dalam pilihan raya umum, dia tak boleh kerjasama. Kalau dia kerjasama, PAS tak ada apa-apa.
He added another factor that may have led to PH defeat was the sentiment that the coalition could not fulfill its promises within a reasonable time frame. BN emerged victorious in the Semenyih by-election, its second victory against the ruling Pakatan Harapan coalition since losing power last year. Its candidate, Zakaria Hanafi, won with a 1,914 vote majority, clinching 19,780 votes. He beat PH Muhammad Aiman Zainali, who secured 17,866 votes, and two others, PSM's Nick Aziz Afiq Abdul and independent candidate Kwan Chi Hong, who only garnered 847 and 725 votes respectively. Still on the Semenyih by-election, BN's victory in the poll yesterday was the people's choice. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng, who is also DAP Secretary General, said all parties must openly accept the outcome and place their focus on BN to see whether it can fulfill its promises in the constituency or not.
Saya menerima keputusan daripada rakyat. Memang ini adalah hak dan suara rakyat, dan ekspektasinya ialah BN dilihat macam mana mereka hendak menunaikan janji mereka. So ekspektasi ialah mereka akan menunaikan janji-janji dan kenyataan yang dibuat dalam pilihan raya kecil. Untuk Pakatan Harapan, kita akan terus berusaha untuk menyatu padukan rakyat.
Lim said this after officiating the I Love Penang run in Georgetown, Penang earlier today. Meanwhile, Lim has dismissed allegations by a blogger that he was involved in a corruption scandal involving the Penang's undersea tunnel and road projects. He stressed that the state government conducts open tender for its projects. As such, the issue of corruption does not arise.
Satu penipuan yang diadakan untuk memburuk-burukkan bukan sahaja nama saya, 4 ahli exco yang lain. Pada masa itu ahli exco lah. Now CM already. Pada masa 4 orang ahli exco yang lain, dan juga kepada kerajaan negeri dan juga Pakatan Harapan. So memang ini sesuatu penipuan. Okey, dan saya rasa amat jelas. Bila Pulau Pinang amalkan sistem tender terbuka, kemungkinan seperti ini tidak berlaku.
He was commenting on Raja Putra Kamarudin, who recently published several blog posts on the MACC investigation into the tunnel and roads project estimated to cost 6.3 billion ringgit. Lim and several state executive councillors were also implicated in the investigations. According to Lim, the previous BN administration had also investigated the project and did not take any action. He added that Datuk Dr. Nasharuddin Mat Isa had previously made a similar allegation, and the former past deputy president had to fork out 10,000 ringgit to settle a lawsuit on the matter. Yes, good news for gamers. The Youth and Sports Ministry said it will establish Malaysia's own e-sports league soon as part of its efforts to develop the industry, which is growing in popularity, in particular among youth. Its Minister Syed Saddiq Abdul Rahman said the move was timely, considering that there were already 14.4 million e-sports enthusiasts in the country.
Sebab kita memang nak ada liga daripada bawah sampai ke atas supaya akhirnya kita boleh dapat cungkil bakat, dan pada masa yang sama di sana kita boleh pasarkan perkembangan e-sports yang saya rasa followingnya sangat besar.
The minister also noted a number of esports tournaments have been held in the country previously, but they were only one-off events. During Budget 2019, the government has allocated 10 million ringgit to boost the local esports industry. Meanwhile, Syed Saddiq said his ministry was currently focusing on virtual games that would be chosen to represent the country at the 2019 SEA Games, which will be held in the Philippines from November 30th to December 11th. A total of 6 esports games will be featured, which are Dota 2, StarCraft 2, Arena of Valor, Mobile Legends, Tekken and NBA 2019. Only 2% of primary school pupils nationwide have dropped out of schools this year. Deputy Education Minister Teo Ni Ching said a majority of the dropouts are non-nationals, as well as those whose parents are mired in financial difficulties and do not see the importance of education.
Kita sekarang telah memudahkan proses untuk mendaftar, untuk pergi masuk ke sekolah kerajaan untuk golongan bukan warga negara. Maksudnya kalau mereka boleh tunjuk birth cert mereka, sijil kelahiran mereka ataupun perintah pengangkatan yang untuk tunjuk buktikan hubungan mereka dengan warga Malaysia, kita akan teruslah terima mereka untuk masuk ke sekolah kerajaan.
Speaking to reporters at an event in Johor Bahru, Johor today, she further said the ministry will beef up its efforts in identifying and helping more children in the same category. Teo added the ministry views this matter seriously in line with the Education Act, which requires pupils to complete schooling until Year 6. Commenting on preschool education, she said private kindergartens are encouraged to register with the respective state education officers to ensure that their curriculum are on par with the standards set by the ministry. The ministry will team up with the Malaysian Qualifications Agency MQA and other government bodies to equip preschool teachers with the appropriate skill set. A senior officer with FGV Holdings Berhad was detained by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC for allegedly accepting gratification worth 10,000 ringgit. The suspect was remanded for 5 days beginning today to assist investigations. The senior officer was arrested at a restaurant in Taman Prima Sarjana, Kajang about 11:30 a.m. yesterday. The 51-year-old is believed to have received the payment as an inducement to recommend extension of the contract of a company carrying international certification auditing of palm oil refineries under FGV. The case is being investigated under the MACC Act. It carries a maximum jail term of 20 years and a fine of 10,000 ringgit or 5 times the value of the bribe, whichever is higher upon conviction. When we come back, how serious can road rage goes? Details next. Don't touch that dial. Thanks for staying with us. Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad today said city development in the country must be well planned and organised, which in turn should contribute to more appealing landscapes. In light of this, the Prime Minister wants city planners to consider well-arranged buildings and plants in a bid to transform Malaysia into a beautiful garden country. Speaking at the National Landscape Day 2019 celebration at the Putrajaya Botanical Gardens earlier today, Tun Dr. Mahathir further said that Malaysia is blessed with good weather and fertile soil, which allow better cultivation of plants and flowers. Due to this, he added, Malaysians should make an effort to beautify their local neighbourhoods, whether in urban or rural areas, similar to those in many developed nations.
Sebaliknya, kalau kita menanam pokok di tepi jalan, saya harap kita tanam satu jenis saja di kiri dan kanan jalan dengan jarak yang tetap sama sepanjang jalan, dan ini memberi gambaran yang elok bagi jalan itu. Di masa yang sama, kita boleh selang-seli dengan pokok-pokok bunga yang sama jenisnya, supaya apabila kita lalu di jalan-jalan ini, maka kita akan dapati keadaan sekeliling amat menarik dan cantik.
At the event, Dr. Mahathir also handed out several awards in the forms of grants to communities, developers and local authorities, which successfully planned and implemented comprehensive landscape management. Kuala Lumpur City Hall received the main award under the Garden Nation initiative, involving a 1 million ringgit grant, while the Putrajaya Corporation and the Iskandar Puteri City Council each received grants of 500,000 and 300,000 ringgit respectively. The National Landscape Day was initiated in 1998 on every March 3rd, aimed at mobilizing a culture of love for landscaping among the people, in line with the National Landscape Policy. The National Welfare Foundation, YKN's Anjung Kasih, a temporary shelter project that began in 2006 for family members of patients undergoing treatment at government hospitals, has benefited 62,551 people. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Aziza Wan Ismail said to date there are now 10 YKN Anjung Kasih throughout the country. She said this when officially opening Anjung Kasih YKN in Penang Hospital in Georgetown, which began operation on January 9th and had already been used by 103 guests. Datuk Sri Wan Azizah added 4 more YKN Anjung Kasih will be operational this year at the Sultan Abaya Hospital in Alustar, Sultan Aminah Hospital in Johor Bahru, Duchess of Kent Hospital in Sandakan and Melaka Hospital.
Kerajaan mengambil berat akan keperluan golongan yang memerlukan khususnya kepada kelompok B40 ini. Sebagai kerajaan yang prihatin, kita berusaha meringankan beban rakyat. Kita tawarkan penginapan secara percuma supaya mereka dapat bersama-sama menemani pesakit semasa rawatan dijalankan. Secara tidak langsung, Anjung Kasih ini turut menjadi medium penyambung kasih di antara keluarga. Alhamdulillah.
The YKN Board of Trustees chairman also said the Anjung Kasih project is a proactive approach in medico-social field to link aspects of medication and social service. With Anjung Kasih, the government is able to assist the people to save costs for accommodation, which could amount to 100 ringgit and 200 ringgit a night. According to Datuk Sri Wan Azizah, who is also Women, Family and Community Development Minister, the government had also allocated 6.9 million ringgit for the overall cost of Anjung Kasih, which also received 1.6 million ringgit from corporate social responsibility programs of government-linked companies, GLCs, private sector and other caring contributors. Now it's time for our daily segment Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. Road rage is pretty common, as not everyone's good in managing their patience while driving with people's various behaviour. But unfortunately, such gestures could eventually lead to road accident. Recently in Singapore, a video where a confrontation turns physical between a couple in their 60s and a teenage cyclist was shared in various social media platforms, garnering tens of thousands of views. Here's the story.
The cyclist had allegedly hit the Audi and attempted to flee the scene when its driver caught up and approached the young man. During the face-off, the cyclist claimed the car in front of him had allegedly made a sudden stop, resulting him unable to slow down in time before hitting the car with his hand, and concluded no damage was done. However, the young man's statement seemed inconsistent, as in the video, it could be seen that the bike clearly hit the back of the car. Things got worse as the boy kept fighting back with excuses and did not seem to repent nor reflect his mistakes. Angered by the teenager's behaviour, the face-off soon turned physical after he refused to show his identification card for the couple to report to the police. Following this, many were quick to point the driver's fault, while some stated that the couple should not have gotten physical. Officials have reported that this case remains under investigation.
Now, updated as of 7 p.m, here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today. Sea Life Malaysia, Legoland Malaysia Resort's latest attraction, will be open to the public this April. Dubbed as the first Lego-themed marine life attraction in Southeast Asia, it focuses on ocean conservation and protection through entertainment. Our reporter Miza Shafiza Muhammad Fuad gets a first look at the interactive aquarium, which is now nearing completion.
Legoland Malaysia offers various attractions, games and facilities as one of the best family holiday destinations in the region.
I'm currently here at Legoland Malaysia and just tried their roller coaster at Lego Kingdoms. Now we often encounter rides, attractions as well as water theme park here. But I heard Legoland is about to introduce something new. Wait, did you just ask me what is it? Let's go and find it out.
Behold, the newest addition to the theme park, Sea Life Malaysia. The two-story aquarium, which is currently 95% completed, features more than 25 display tanks in 11 habitat zones, which will be the home for 13,000 marine life from 120 species, including stingrays, zebra sharks, black-tip reef sharks, seahorses, and many more. The ocean tank, the largest tank in the aquarium, filled with nearly 400 200,000 litres of water will also house a replica of a historic shipwreck as its centrepiece, as well as a 180-degree see-through tunnel where visitors can enjoy the oceanic creatures swimming around them.
Okay, today it's a key milestone event. It's a very historical event whereby the first time the fishes are actually being released in the aquarium of Sea Life Malaysia. Just about 1 month ago, we filled the tanks with the water, and then within a month, we are actually filling up the tank with the fishes.
I think so. My kids love aquariums. We've been to aquariums from Sydney to Dubai to the United States, and if there was an aquarium here this weekend, we would have been to the aquarium.
여기 레고랜드 왔던 사람은 공사하는 것도 봤고요. 광고도 봤어요. 네, 구글이나 이런 데서. 네. 우리는 저게 오픈하면 훨씬 더 많은 사람이 올 것 같아요. 왜냐면 레고랜드도 많이 있었지만 꽤 오래 있어가지고 새로운 걸 보고 싶어하는 사람들이 많아요.
I think the main attraction will still be here, but it's a good add-on to the main theme park.
The many interactive elements and hands-on experience, such as the rock pool, will fascinate kids as well as adults and educate them.
Sebab saya suka ikan, lepas tu boleh ada orang datang ramai.
Apart from a fun learning experience, the world's largest aquarium brand also aims to inspire the visitors to care for our planet's invaluable natural assets and ecosystems.
I'm currently here at one of the display tanks at Sea Life Malaysia, which is the only place featuring fishes from a Malaysian rainforest as one of the exhibit zones. Now, living up to its Legoland brand essence, Sea Life Malaysia will also be one of the places that has Lego DNA, consisting creative and fun learning. This is Shafizar for 7Edition.
3,300 runners joined a colourful charity Run for Rare 2019 at Sunway City this morning to create awareness on rare diseases and their impact on patients' lives. The event, held for the first time in Malaysia, saw people from different walks of life, including doctors and NGOs, coming together to support the cause. Our trainee reporter Musharu Fatul Mahmuda has more.
In conjunction with World Rare Disease Day, Malaysia Lysosomal Disease Association (MLDA) organised a charity run to indicate their support and to raise awareness for patients with rare diseases. This event also offers various activities for the visitors to experience. The runners, who gathered as early as 6 a.m. for the run, were flagged off by Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad at 7 a.m, navigating a 5-kilometre course. The participants with fluorescent face paint also included hundreds of rare disease patients, some in wheelchairs as well as their families. There were also various activities at the event organised in partnership with Sunway Group and EC Pixels, including exhibition booths, lucky draws and gaming stations, which simulated the challenges faced by rare disease sufferers. Apart from the chance to be in their shoes, the public also learned other complications experienced by rare disease patients and their families, such as difficulties in getting quality healthcare and support, as well as the social and financial burdens.
You know very well that there are other hundreds of other rare diseases and invulnerable metabolism kind of diseases that are, as said by Prof. Tong, that requires attention. So what is important for us is we respond to this call and request, and it's part of our government to be able to enhance this service, enhance this allocation, and hence bring about an inclusive society that no one should be left behind, however difficult and rare the disease is afflicted on any of their members or family.
Not many people aware that actually we already have a newborn screening available, which can detect up to 40 types of rare diseases. A lot of these children, if you give them early intervention, like drinking special formula milk, like phenylketonuria patients, if they were not detected and given this special protein, synthetic protein, they will have brain damage at the first week in their life. And that's it. They will be collapsed in coma, bedridden for their entire life.
The event also raised 100,000 ringgit, which will benefit rare disease patients who needs medical support and care.
Penyakit dia ni, dia akan, kalau dia jatuh, dia akan mudah berdarah. mudah lebam, bengkak. So macam kalau dia tak dapat ubat, dia akan tulang dia pun macam rapuh. So kalau dia main dengan kawan-kawan dia, kita kena jagalah, kita tengok.
Here we have 3,300 people who knows of this condition, of this rare disease. So hopefully by sharing on social media, more people will be aware of this condition. And this would be a yearly event.
It is estimated that 300 million people worldwide are affected by rare diseases, with most of them without any known cure, while many more go undiagnosed. Due to this, it is hoped that events such as Run for Rare will be able to highlight the matter and their impact to patients, not just to the public but also the decision makers. Musharafatul Mahmuda for 7Edition.
After the break, pilot dies after small plane crashes in Florida. We'll be right back. Gone but not forgotten. 5 years on, the flight MH370 tragedy still mystified the world. However, those who were on board the ill-fated flight still remained in the hearts and minds of all Malaysians. In conjunction with the 5th anniversary of the disappearance of MH370, a special remembrance event was held in Kuala Lumpur. Today, our trainee reporter Musharafatul Mahmuda reports.
This event is organized by Voice 370, a support group for the families of those on board the ill-fated flight MH370 in memory of their lost loved ones. Although saddened by the loss, those who came still carried on with their life with reflection, determination and hope. The remembrance event were filled with speeches, dance and musical performance and touching testimonials tribute, sung by the next of kin of the crew and passengers of MH370. 2 pieces of debris believed to be part of the aircraft were also put on display at the event, the first time such fragments have been opened for public viewing. The event also included a tree planting ceremony as a symbolic gesture of hope by those in attendance. The plant will then be moved to the National Park to also mark the remembrance event.
We'd just like to thank everybody, for keeping us all in their prayers, in their thoughts, and then, keeping this alive. And we know that all of them out there feel the same as we do, although they might not be related to our loved ones.
My feeling is still very much on continuing the search. We don't give up hope on continuing the search.
Itulah, sedar tak sedar dah 5 tahun kan, anak I pun dah 5 tahun. So whatever it is, life goes on kan.
Meanwhile, Transport Minister Anthony Loke Siu Fook said the government will resume the search for the missing flight MH370 if there are credible leads.
If there are any credible leads and any specific proposal, especially from Ocean Infinity, we are more than willing to look at it, and we are prepared to discuss with them.
Flight MH370 disappeared on March 8, 2014 on its way from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing with 239 people on board. Musharafatul Mahmuda for 7Edition.